Beloved, let me ask you something real. Have you ever wondered why some days you feel spiritually strong, unshakable, unbothered, and deeply connected to God, yet other days you feel completely exposed, vulnerable, and spiritually naked? Why yesterday you felt bold, steady, and confident, but today you woke up fighting thoughts that won't stop, fears that don't make sense, temptations that feel louder than usual, and invisible battles you can't even explain? Have you ever sat quietly and thought to yourself, Lord, why does it feel like I'm standing in a storm without shelter? Because deep down, something inside you knows when your spirit is uncovered. Have you ever looked at your life and whispered, God, why does it feel like something is attacking me? Not in a dramatic way. Not because you're paranoid. But because the intensity of the pressure doesn't match what you're doing in the natural. You're not doing anything unusual, yet the warfare feels unusual. You're not walking in sin, yet the guilt feels heavy. You're not making foolish choices, yet the confusion is loud. Sometimes the spiritual hits come out of nowhere and you're left wondering, what did I do wrong? But beloved, you didn't do anything wrong. You're just in a place where you need protection you're not consistently wearing. Some of you watching right now feel like you're living under constant pressure. Your mind is tired, not just from overthinking but from spiritual voices fighting for your attention. Your emotions are stretched, not because you're weak but because life has been pulling on you from every direction. Your spirit is battling warfare you didn't sign up for, doors you didn't open, attacks you didn't invite, and burdens you didn't choose. And deep inside, beneath your worship, beneath your smile, beneath your strength, you know something is missing. You can feel the gap. You can sense the vulnerability. You can tell something in your spirit is uncovered. Not your love for God. Not your desire to do right. Not your faith, but your armor. The very thing God gave you to stand when life hits. The thing that makes you unshakable in spiritual warfare. The thing that keeps your mind guarded, your heart protected, your steps steady, and your spirit strong. And beloved, when the armor is missing, even the strongest believer will feel the battle more intensely. The armor God commanded you to wear. The armor many believers never learn to apply. The armor the enemy fears the most because he knows it exposes his lies and destroys his plans. Today, I'm going to walk you step by step through the 5 practical daily habits to stay covered in the armor of God. Not theories. Not vague spirituality. Not church language. I'm talking about real habits, practical, daily, spiritual disciplines you can actually live out, habits that keep you spiritually protected when life tries to break you, mentally grounded when anxiety tries to drift you, and emotionally guarded when the enemy targets the sensitive places you don't talk about. These aren't concepts to admire, these are weapons to apply. And when you practice them consistently, they shift the atmosphere of your life, your mind, and your emotions. But before we go deep, do this immediately. Like this video. Share it with someone who needs this word. Subscribe. Stay with me until the very end, because the final habit I'm about to reveal is the one the enemy attacks the most, and the one most Christians ignore, overlook, or completely underestimate. If you miss that last habit, you will stay spiritually exposed, even if you love God, even if you pray, even if you worship. So don't click away. Don't get distracted. What's coming next is a lifeline for your spirit. And when you're done watching, I want you to write this in the comments with faith. Lord, cover me with your armor daily. Declare it. Speak it over your mind, your emotions, your day, and your destiny. Are you ready? Because once we start, something in your spirit is going to awaken, sharpen, and strengthen. The first habit. Put on the belt of truth with a morning reset of your mind. Ephesians 6 begins with the belt, not the sword, not the shield, not the helmet, the belt. And that's not accidental. The belt was the anchor of the entire armor. Without it, everything else fell apart. In ancient warfare, the belt held the warrior's weapons, secured the breastplate, and stabilized every movement. If the belt loosened, the warrior became vulnerable, unbalanced, and dangerously exposed. In the same way, your spiritual stability depends on what your mind is anchored to the moment your feet hit the ground. This is exactly why the enemy targets your thoughts before you even sit up in bed. For some of you, the first whisper you hear in the morning isn't God's comfort. It's anxiety reminding you of yesterday's problems. The second voice is worry forecasting the worst. The third is shame repeating old failures. The fourth is self-criticism attacking your worth. And before you even brush your teeth, the enemy has already tried to loosen your belt. Listen to me, you cannot fight spiritual battles with an unbelted mind. You cannot walk in authority while entertaining lies. You cannot move in confidence when your thoughts are scattered, loud, and unguarded. You must reset your thoughts before the world speaks. That means the first 3 minutes of your morning belong to truth. Not noise, not notifications, not the leftovers of yesterday's stress. Grounding, anchoring, stabilizing truth. A simple prayer whispered from a sincere heart can shift your entire mental atmosphere. Lord, align my mind with your truth today. Reset my thoughts. Silence every lie. 3 minutes. That's all it takes to fasten your belt. 3 minutes to shut the enemy out and invite God in. 3 minutes to establish clarity before confusion has a chance to speak. Because the armor doesn't start on your body, it starts in your mind. If your thoughts are anchored, your spirit becomes steady. If your mind is aligned with truth, your day becomes protected. When you secure the belt of truth first, every other piece of armor locks into place. That morning reset isn't optional, it's survival. It is the difference between walking exposed and walking equipped. The second habit, cover your heart with the breastplate of righteousness. Hear me clearly, many Christians are not losing spiritual battles because they lack faith or because they don't love God enough. They're losing because they're carrying unfiltered, unprotected, and unhealed emotions straight into warfare. The breastplate wasn't designed for style, it was designed for survival. It covers the heart, the most vulnerable place in a warrior's body. Spiritually, it protects your emotions, your identity, and the deepest desires that shape your decisions. When your heart is uncovered, the enemy doesn't need a sword. He only needs a wound you haven't dealt with. This is why you must begin each day intentionally guarding what flows out of your heart. Pray it out loud if you have to. Lord, guard my heart from offense. Guard my heart from bitterness. Guard my heart from old wounds that still whisper lies. Offense is subtle. Bitterness is slow. Old pain is familiar. And if you're not careful, they slip into your day and shape your decisions without your permission. You cannot walk in righteousness with an unguarded heart. You cannot walk in wisdom when offense is sitting in your chest. You cannot walk in clarity when yesterday's pain is bleeding into today's choices. Protection requires awareness, and awareness requires honesty. So every morning, cover your heart. Speak righteousness over your emotions. Not perfection, alignment. Righteousness is not about never feeling hurt, never feeling fear, or never feeling triggered. It's about letting God align your emotions with His truth instead of letting your emotions lead you into battles you were never meant to fight. When your heart is covered, the enemy loses one of his strongest entry points, and you step into your day grounded, guarded, and strengthened. The third habit, fit your feet with the shoes of peace before entering the day. Listen, peace is not a feeling, it is a stance, a posture, a spiritual position you choose before life has the chance to choose for you. Every morning you decide what emotional ground you will stand on. And if you don't anchor your peace before you walk out the door, almost anything can knock you off balance. A careless comment, a tense moment, a financial surprise, even an old memory resurfacing. Peace is the foundation beneath your steps, and without it, the smallest disturbance can shake your entire day. The enemy knows this, which is why he targets your peace before he targets anything else. When your peace becomes shaky, your mind becomes noisy. When your mind becomes noisy, your decisions become unstable. And when your decisions are unstable, your entire day becomes chaotic. Many believers think they're under spiritual attack when really, they just left their peace unguarded. If you don't secure your footing, you start reacting instead of responding, overthinking instead of praying, and panicking instead of standing firm. The shoes of peace aren't just protection, they are direction. They determine how you walk, where you walk, and how confidently you move through every assignment God gives you. So here's the habit, simple but powerful. Before you step out, whisper, Lord, I stand in your peace. I will not be moved today. Not give me peace, because God has already given it. Not let me feel peaceful, because feelings shift. Stand in peace. Claim it. Walk in it. It's a position, not a mood. When your feet are fitted with peace, the day may shake, but you won't. The fourth habit, raise the shield of faith through one daily declaration. Your faith weakens when your declarations weaken. Your spirit becomes dull when your words become heavy. Faith grows by hearing, but the real question is, what are you hearing from your own mouth? Because for many believers, the enemy isn't the one speaking defeat. They are. They speak fear, they speak exhaustion, they speak discouragement, they speak frustration, and then wonder why their shield is too weak to block attacks. Your shield is only as strong as the words you consistently speak. Some Christians are accidentally declaring their own defeat. I don't know if I can handle this. I'm so tired. Nothing is changing. My life is hard. These words don't just express emotion, they shape atmosphere. They don't just describe struggle, they invite heaviness. And hear me, your shield cannot rise with those words. A lowered shield exposes your mind, your heart, your peace, and your purpose. This is why you need one intentional declaration every single day, one bold, faith-charged statement that becomes your spiritual barrier against doubt, discouragement, and demonic pressure. It doesn't need to be long, it just needs to be strong. Something like, God is with me, I cannot be defeated. Or, what God has for me cannot be stolen. Or, I walk in strength, clarity, and victory today. One declaration, spoken with faith, whispered with conviction, declared with authority. Because one single spirit-filled declaration can block 1,000 invisible arrows aimed at your mind, your emotions, and your destiny. Yes, that is exactly how powerful the shield is. The fifth habit, renew your mind with the helmet and pray in the Spirit. These two are inseparable. You cannot wear the helmet and ignore the sword, and you cannot fight with the sword while leaving your mind uncovered. The helmet protects what enters your thoughts, while the sword releases what comes out of your spirit. One guards, the other attacks. One stabilizes, the other cuts. Together, they create a spiritual cycle of protection and power that seals your mind from lies and releases truth into your atmosphere. So here's your habit, simple, sustainable, powerful. End your day with 5 minutes of scripture and prayer. Just 5 minutes. Not an hour. Not a long devotional. 5 intentional minutes where you quiet the noise, open your heart, and let the word wash over your thoughts. Because nighttime is when the enemy speaks the loudest. When you are tired, when your emotions are raw, when your mind is vulnerable, when the day's weight tries to replay itself over and over. And it's the word that cuts through the lies trying to settle in your spirit before you sleep. Put the word in your mind. Pray in the Spirit. Lay your head down in God's truth. When you do this, you don't just end your day, you secure it. You close spiritual doors that were trying to stay open. You silence voices that wanted to follow you into your dreams. You anchor your thoughts in truth so the enemy cannot attack you through fear, heaviness, or mental warfare in the night. That is how you end a day protected. Beloved, listen to me. Some of you have been waking up spiritually naked, stepping into the day without the armor that was designed to protect you. You're walking into battles unarmed, trying to fight warfare with emotions instead of spiritual equipment. The enemy has been dragging you into cycles, thoughts, temptations, fears, and discouragements, not because you're powerless but because you're uncovered. This is not condemnation, this is confrontation wrapped in love. The enemy is not attacking you because you're weak. He's attacking you because you are chosen, because there is destiny on your life, because heaven has placed a mark of purpose, calling, and assignment on you that hell recognizes even when you don't. But even a chosen warrior becomes vulnerable when the armor is lying on the ground instead of on their body. Today, right now, in this very moment, God is calling you to rise with fresh strength, to put on your armor daily, to stop walking as though you are fragile and start walking as the warrior He designed you to be. You are not a victim. You are not spiritually fragile. You are not the defeated one in the story. You are the one heaven has empowered, equipped, and assigned victory to, if you stay armored. Your destiny cannot be stolen, but it can be delayed by spiritual unpreparedness. So stand up. Fasten your belt. Guard your heart. Anchor your peace. Lift your shield. Renew your mind. Pray in the Spirit. Walk covered, walk equipped, and walk in the victory God has already declared over you. In the name of Jesus, I speak over you. Your mind will be covered. Your heart will be guarded. Your peace will be stable. Your faith will be strong. Your spirit will be sharp. Your steps will be protected. Your home will be shielded. Your day will be under divine covering. You are not walking into your next season unarmed. You are fully covered, fully equipped, fully strengthened, fully protected. And you will not fall. You will not break. You will not be defeated. You will not be taken out. God has covered you, and you will stay covered. Before you go, do this right now. Like this video. Share it with at least one person who needs spiritual protection. Subscribe so you never miss any of our Spirit-led teachings. And stay with me to the very end of every video because each message carries revelation you cannot afford to miss. And in the comments, write, Lord, cover me with your armor daily.